So my wife and I just got done watching a documentary on a cult, and which is interesting because we always tend to. First of all, we love documentaries. If you haven't found the world of documentaries yet, I can't imagine in a place in existence where that would be a thing. But if it did, you're missing out. Go watch some documentaries. But for whatever reason, we always tend to be more drawn towards the cults. Probably because there's a lot out there, and yeah. And so the one we watched yesterday, the leader of this cult had to go away. Not had to go away. It went away very much deservingly and needed to be considered for far worse punishment in my mind than just prison time. But I don't want to get to whatever due to his crimes. So he's gone. And now all the members are like, well, what do we do now? They're all standing around waiting for it. And then some other guy was like, well, I'm the chosen one now. And everybody was like, that sounds good to us. You're the chosen one, and follow him. And so they all go to him now. And he is completely and utterly disgusting, deplorable, worthless, the complete worst of all human beings, which tends to be the case, right? And so he does what he does. He talks some of the most ridiculous, out of your rear end things you could possibly think. And it's so crazy to see these folks that are just like, yep, that sounds right. That's it. You nailed it. And what's crazy is I think we all know someone in our lives that we're like, they would totally be a cult member. I think at least I can. I know of at least two, if not three people that I could be like 100% that person would be joining a cult before everybody else. They're that person that's always like, just believes the most off the wall things and is like completely like they'll literally hear something and they're like, that's it. That is the answer. And then they'll hear something else, but like, that's actually it. That's the answer. And I think we all know that. And so we all can relate that there's somebody out there that is ready, primed and ready for a cult, right? Then there are other peoples who are just completely, will never join a cult because they can't believe anything and they're equally as annoying. And so I think the idea is to be somewhere in the middle. Having said that, Will, that's my family. Having said that, I do think that there's something interesting about just how far the human brain can go and just how like easily it can be in denial. Because some of the things these guys were saying, you could see the people at first going like, I don't think so. But then they would kind of be like, they would look around, see everybody else, and be like, oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense, you know? And so it's always so interesting to me to see. I love you too, sweetheart. And so it's always interesting to see that unfold in front of you. And what's always crazy is after they get caught, and usually there's something illegal happening, and they end up going to jail, that's when everybody in the cult's like, oh yeah, now I see the light. But you know, you don't want to judge them too much because a lot of them are born into it, and so they've been brought up and they've been sort of trained from a very young age to believe these things. But it is just so fascinating to see how people who you would think are, have such a good head on their shoulders for everything else, when it comes to that, you're just like, whoa, like how is this possible for you to buy into this? But, you know, I think it's just a desire and a need to be heard and understood and believe that there's something greater than the experience they're having that draws them into that. But some of them, man, and I think what it is they start off small little things, right? And so it's little imperceptible movements, so you don't quite see the whole picture until all of a sudden you're like in it, you know, elbows deep, and then you're like, then it's too late. Then you'll believe anything. And what some of this guy was saying was insane. But yeah, do me a favor, don't join a cult. You know what I mean? Just be your own person. See y'all.